All right. Okay, let's give this a shot here. So I'm going to try a YouTube live stream today. Something a little different. Just try it out. All right, so what I want to talk about today is... and yes, I didn't stream at all last week. Last week was the Esri Developer Summit. It was all virtual. It was all online. And I was just tired. I was beat, man. It was a long week. A lot of stuff came up. And actually, what I'm going to cover today is a question that came up from last week. So talk a little bit about that. But it was a good event. It was a good Dev Summit. Still getting used to doing the virtual part, right? I mean, I've only done it once before. I think in that particular format, the way that was done with the whole Q&A and everything. So it was, it took a little bit of getting used to, but I think it turned out pretty well. So if you attended that event, you actually saw my session or any other sessions, I hope you enjoyed it. You can continue to ask questions on the Esri community online. We do check that up there, and I get questions all the time anyway. So this was a particular question that came up during one of my sessions, right? And that is how to create a second feature table in my application from a selection of the first feature table, right? So let's say here I have this, this is the, on this side here, this is the sample directly from the ArcGIS API for JavaScript SDK. So the question boiled down to, if I select like 3 of these here, how can I make a second feature table containing only those selected features? Which is interesting. It's an interesting question. I don't think I've seen it come up before. However, it does tie into stuff I've done before on working with feature layers and client-side copies of your feature layer that you can do, like kind of deferred editing and stuff like that. So I thought it was a pretty cool thing to cover today. So that's what I'm going to do. So the feature table widget, if you don't know, is a pretty awesome widget in the API. You basically give it a layer and it's going to display data from the layer, right? Just a plain table. It is actually one of the most requested features for the API. No, I need a table to show my data. So it's pretty useful. It's pretty powerful widget you can use in your apps. So let's go ahead and look at how I can just make that. So I'm going to close this here. We're not going to bother looking at a doc because we're just going to go at it, man. So, all right. So here I added to this sample here. I have a code pen here. I've added this function called create layer. Create layer is going to take a source layer, the title that I want to give to my layer, and then source data, right? So this is going to be an array of graphics. So when you create a client-side feature layer, you have to set it up with a few different things, right? So I'm going to provide a title. I need to know what the fields are. So I'm basically just going to take a layer. I'm going to copy all of the fields that the layer already has and just apply them to it. There's also going to be this geometry type. So I need to know what geometry type of the layer is, whether it's point, line, or polygon, because feature layers can only be a single geometry type. And I'll copy the spatial reference. I don't think I actually need this. If I do a geometry type, this probably isn't needed, but I got it anyway. And then the source. So this is going to be the initial set of graphics I want to be part of the layer. And then I'm going to have the visible be false because I don't need to show it. I just need it to tie to a feature table. If I wanted to show it for some reason, I could. That probably ties into some other funky stuff, but I wouldn't worry about it. Then I create that layer and I'm going to send it back. All right, so where would I do that? Right, so you can see here I've added a couple of buttons in here. Well, I've added this button, new table, right? So what I want new table to do is, and I've made this 50% size. So under it, I'm going to add another table to it here. So basically what I want to do is I'm going to select some features here, click new table, and then copy them somehow, right? So I have a new button here, right? Button.add event listener here. That is the button. Can I make this a little bigger? I think I can. Let's see here. All right. It's a little unwieldy bigger, but it's okay. No big deal. No big deal. So when I click on that event listener, I need to do a few things, right? So what I want to do is I want to get my source, right? So that's going to be the first thing that I do. oh, I need some features here. So let's see here. Give me a second here. Here we go. So there's already an array being populated in here, right? So as the feature table selection change event is being updated, right? So I select features. I'm actually going to go through on selection change in the feature table, and basically what we're doing here is we're going to say that you know this is a the changes that you get back from this event is a collection from the API. Collection in the API basically has it's an array with a little bit of extra features added to it. One of those features being that it gives off events and stuff like that, which is why you're able to watch for those changes. But basically, I'm going to check this removed. Actually, no, I guess it's not. It's just got to tell me stuff that's been removed and stuff that has not been removed. So basically, any changes in here, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I don't have any duplicates or find the duplicates in here and remove it. And if it's added, just push all the selections to an array, right? So I get my feature in here, and I'm going to push that to the features here. Although the way this is set up here is kind of, it is each entry in the array is an object with the feature property name, and then that property feature has the feature. So I need to go ahead and grab those when I click on this. So we're going to say that const source is going to be equal to features.map, right? So I'm going to map over each of the features. I'm going to just grab one, and I want the x dot features. So I want the feature property from that. So it's going to give me all the graphics I want to use for the next feature table, right? The new feature table that I'm going to use. I think you can see where this is going here. So now what I want to do is I need to have my layer. So I need a layer that's going to be equal to create layer. And it's just going to copy my current layer, and that's called feature layer. It's just the layer that we see on the map. I'm going to give it a title called copy layer. In this app, I don't think it matters because I don't think the title, I don't have a layer list or a legend. So you won't actually see the name anywhere. So that's probably a little overkill. So I don't need that. And then pass the source graphics, right? So that's pretty much all I need. At this point, this create layer function is going to go ahead, copy all the features from the layer that I need, or the properties from the layer I need to create a new layer, and apply those graphics from the old layer that have been selected from the feature to my layer. Get it? And the reason those features are needed is it does this whole zoom to selected thing in here, which I think will still work. So if I click those, zoom selected, right? It's just going to zoom to those selected features in there. That's why it does it. But we're going to go ahead and take advantage of that to use for our copy layer that we're doing. And so then the other part that is just a little kind of a pain, and I could probably make a function to do this part, but that's going to be the excuse me, second feature table. So I'm just going to copy the way that we make the first feature table over here. I'll put this in here. I'm going to go ahead and call this, I'm going to call it F table. Like so. I need to kind of clean this up. Okay, so I basically, what I wanted to do, let's comment this out real quick. What I want is I want the field configs from this, and instead of having the original feature layer, I'm going to go ahead and use the copy layer that I made. Whoops. Yep, there we go. Just copy that. Actually, I can type a layer in there. All right, let me clean this up a bit here. Format JavaScript, and there we go. So the other thing I need is where am I going to display this feature table, right? This container here. So I don't want it to be under this table div. I think I set it up over here somewhere. Table div 2. Maybe not. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that. So I want it to be under an array element. If I come over here to HTML, I added a table div 2. So I add a new div for table div 2, which is where my, what do you call it? This is going to go, my feature table. So let's uncomment that. And if I did this right, oh, I need that. Okay, so now if I did this right, cross your fingers, because I don't even know if I did. Let me save this. Let me select some features here. New table, and bam, there we go. So this table only has 3 features, which are the 3 features that were selected here are now the 3 features over here, right? My copy layer. Oh, there it is. There's a title. I didn't realize the title went into the feature table. I should have realized that. My bad. But yeah, so that's how you can do something like that, right? And yes, I just made this kind of like 50% height for this area. You might want to do some like smarter CSS updates to the divs containing the feature tables so that you know, they get put in the position correctly. Maybe you've got like a component or something like that that has tabs, and you just every time you do a selection of one table, you create a new tab, add a feature table in that tab. You can tab around and, you know, find all these different selections and stuff. Maybe you have selections for different things. I don't know what you're doing particularly. Maybe you want to run some kind of analysis on the features that are part of a table that you've selected. So you do like 5 different selections and spread them out. And look, man, you guys can do some crazy stuff. I don't quite get it all the time, but hey, you want to do it, I can help you do it, right? So if you got any questions about this kind of stuff or anything, let me know anytime. My Twitter is open for questions. You can leave comments on these videos. I'll try and cover anything weird. If you guys got anything weird with the API you want me to cover, let me know. That's kind of cool. And like I said, any more questions, let me know. Thanks.